Live on your side. Good Day Alabama Extra starts right now.
On a new research facility where Auburn University has joined forces with the U.S. Department of War and NASA. This facility focuses on national security, among other high-profile issues. Just last week, officials cut the ribbon on the 50,000 square foot laboratory in Huntsville. What makes it different is this is spearheaded by Auburn University as opposed to a private enterprise. To tell us more about it, why it's so important, is the executive director for the new institute, Jonathan Pettis. Jonathan, good morning.
Thank you, Janice. Pleasure to be here.
It's great. You see, I want to let our viewers know a little bit about you, though. You spent how many years at NASA?
27 years.
Doing?
NASA. I was in software development and then ended up being the chief information officer and finished up as the associate director at Marshall Space Flight Center.
So this is all intertwined, though, isn't it, with the work that you've done at NASA?
It is. I grew up a space geek. When I was a kid, I went to see the Apollo program at NASA. At Marshall, my dad took me there, and so it's appropriate for me to stay engaged here now with Auburn University.
All right, so Auburn University, you have this facility in Huntsville, and you have students there. Kind of explain to our viewers how that works.
So, from a university perspective, we think it's very important for our students to be exposed to real-world problems. And obviously research, transformational research, is a part of what we do in our mission at Auburn University, and also extension. You know, our heritage from an agricultural perspective, we're in all 67 counties in Alabama. In this case, we're working in Huntsville where there's so much activity from a national security and space perspective. We want our students to get opportunities to be exposed to very significant national programs and difficult problems, and then to help those customers there actually solve those problems. And in doing so, it helps those students be ready for the future and create the next generation workforce. It also feeds back to our campus where we can actually create better curriculum and ensure that the students that are developed there are what's necessary for us to continue to ensure our prosperity and national security.
Well, let's talk about the national security. That is what we just talked about from a student and Auburn University point of view, but it really is a big part of our national security. And what role can this play, or will it play?
So one example, our new facility, sort of the anchor program there, is a program that we are working with the Missile Defense Agency on as the sponsor, and it is focused on creating a radiation effects capability or testing laboratory that allows us to test electronic components. Think chips, computer boards, things that need to process data that will go on to spacecraft into space. Once those products go into space and leave the atmosphere, they're exposed to the sun's radiation, and that can cause significant problems with their performance. So it's really critical, especially for mission critical applications like missile warning and missile tracking or communications applications, to make sure we can depend on those systems to work. So we'll be testing those in the new laboratory that we have. And there's a huge shortage in the nation of those kinds of facilities, and the Missile Defense Agency identified this a couple of years ago as a big need.
So that's how y'all started talking.
That's right, and that's how we've stepped in to help. We think this is a great opportunity for us to plug a gap and also to expose our students to really important work, and it also can serve as a flywheel for other research as we work on ways to mitigate radiation, both in the facility in Huntsville for the future and also in our centers and laboratories on the campus.
In the few seconds we have left, put in perspective what the everyday citizen will eventually see of the progress being made there. What will we know?
Well, one, you see so much dependency on space, and it's growing. 10 years ago, there were about 1,600 satellites in orbit. Now there's 16,000.
Oh, wow.
And so we see this tremendous growth. Citizens are more and more reliant on space. In this case, they'll see the ability, or hopefully realize the ability, to depend on those products and solutions, not only for their everyday lives, but to ensure that we're secure.
Are we talking about more jobs for Alabama citizens?
Absolutely,
as well?
and not just in Huntsville. The state of Alabama plays such an important role in national security and aerospace, from Mobile all the way to Huntsville, obviously with Fort Rucker and the Wiregrass, and then the Anniston Army Depot, and the manufacturing that happens all over the state. Those Tier 2 and Tier 3 suppliers that are important to creating the products and tools that we need to defend our nation, those also create lots of economic value for the state. And so we want to be part of that in our role as an institution of higher learning, and we're really excited about it.
Final question, is there work being done right now as we speak?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have live programs underway. We'll open up our testing facility for actual testing for these products in January.
Okay. Jonathan Pettis, thank you so much. It is fascinating, and we look forward to having you back on to show us the progress of what's being done there.
Thank you very much.
All right, now let's go to Megan.
Extremely fascinating. As someone who got into weather by going to space camp in Huntsville back in the day, I mean, that's just incredible what you've done. Anyway.